Well, we chose Elan after going through a comprehensive selection exercise. Now that looked at a number of aspects. You know, the commercials are very important, but the service levels, and also the cultural fit. External resources are a crucial element of Capgemini's service delivery to our clients. So we had to make sure that the service and the cultural fit was going to work effectively.
We chose Elan because they were so consistent and professional throughout their selection process. Actually, we had some very good references from previous customers, and we thought that they would have the flexibility that Capgemini needed.
Well, the vision is really more of the same. We're really happy with the service we're getting. We're just going through a contract extension at the moment. So we're, you know, from a vision perspective, we've got some strategic initiatives to deliver this year, but the key thing is the underlying service, the delivery of the service levels, and the ongoing good relationship.
Well, I think the word partnership actually is going to be fundamental to help us with our vision. Our vision is to make sure that all of the various disciplines have enough information at their fingertips to make sure that we are totally compliant and risk averse. Elan are very good at getting out there in the business. We sponsor them heavily, and you know, they have the finger on the pulse in terms of what's happening out there at the moment with legislation. So that will help us very much determine our flexible resourcing needs as the organisation grows, and you know, and we are very much more successful with some of the bids that we're winning. Okay, the challenges have been, there have been a number actually, and quite positive. When Elan first came on board, we actually didn't have an applicant tracking tool at all, so they brought that on board, which was one of their selling points. Unfortunately for us, that wasn't integrated into any of our systems. So last year we've seen a lot of work actually, making sure that all of our systems speak to each other. So one of the challenges was to make sure that at month end, you know, our finance team are very happy with what they can get in terms of expenses and time. And I've heard limited noise over the last few months, so I take that as a positive actually, which came out of one of our biggest challenges.
I guess challenge is generally a bit like customer service. You know, it's how you handle the challenge or the issue that's more important than the issue itself. So, you know, Elan have been really good at dealing with issues effectively, and in some ways building a better relationship by doing that.
The fact that some of the disciplines, or the various disciplines within Capgemini, like to do their own thing. They're very entrepreneurial, and I think Elan have steadfastly tried to get out there and help wherever they can. You know, sort of like tiny baby steps in some areas, but then in other areas they're invited out onto roadshows when we're in the middle of a bid process. So it's a different service for each discipline, which can be tailored.
We've been able to agree good commercials. You know, external resources are a big part of our external spend, so getting this right is important for us. Other than that, the real highlight for me is that there's very little day-to-day issues that I get dragged into, so I'm able to focus on the more strategic issues and rolling the service out to more parts of Capgemini. So our partnership, we're just going through a contract renewal at the moment, so we're extending the contract. We've slightly tweaked the commercials. The service stays much the same, so actually the partnership is probably just going to be the same as we've been doing over the last few years, growing the scope and growing the expertise we use in certain niche technology areas.
Well, we've just extended the contract, which is great actually, so we need to get through all of that. And it's actually more of the same. You know, we've done a lot of cost-efficient exercises. However, now it's all about looking at how we can be probably a little bit more smarter in the actual delivery. We've got a few initiatives in terms of a global rate card and a global role standards program that we want to roll out, and that's not just in the UK. That's across 5 other countries. So once we sort of get that embedded, I think that'll probably take us this year.